What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Zachary Reality. It is Zachary Reality, and we are live here on Thursday, November 14th to chat about the Golden Bachelorette live finale that I was able to attend to. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Cannot wait to get into it. I have a co-host here today, Wyatt, who you might know from the Bach Makers podcast. He's going to be helping me break down everything, and we might have a special guest coming in soon. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Wyatt, how are you doing today?
I'm just doing fantastic. I feel like it's one of those pleasant hangovers after a fun Bachelor finale, and then we just kind of get a chat about it. It's fun.
Oh, you had a little watch party last night?
I mean, a singular watch party, just me by myself taking notes, but it's a watch party nonetheless. I feel like I'm watching with America regardless.
Oh, that's true, of course. Yeah, I like to watch by myself sometimes too and, have some wine. Why not?
Yeah.
But last night I did get to go to the Golden finale and watch it on the TV, which was really, really cool. So I cannot wait to break it down and get into it. As far as finales, how shocking and jaw-dropping did you think it was?
I think it was one of the more straightforward finales I've seen, where I had an inkling it was going to be Chock. I had a pretty good idea. I wouldn't have been surprised either way. But I think even with the 90-minute format, which they did towards the end of the season, I think it was just very straightforward, to the point. There was no fluff of trying to make it more dramatic than it needed to be, which probably works well. But yeah, I think it was fairly straightforward. Nothing too crazy happened, but I think we probably needed this. We needed a finale where, hey, nothing weird is going to be thrown at us. No curveballs, just straightforward. They're in love. They're happy. Put a bow on it. I think that was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think because it was 90 minutes, it was kind of obvious that once Chock was getting another date, because he already met the family and then it was a night portion of the date, that there wasn't going to be enough time for Guy to make and to catch up. So I felt like it was pretty obvious for a while that it was going to be them two, but it just became pretty obvious that it was just them. So I can't wait to break it down and see if we think they're going to last. We do have a special guest coming in, Courtney Robertson, former Bachelor Alum. How are you, Courtney?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Hi,
Welcome to the
guys.
stage.
Hi, Wyatt.
Hi,
Nice to
Courtney.
meet you. I'm
Nice to
happy
meet
to
you.
be here. So what did I miss? Sorry,
Well,
I
we're
was
just kind of
late.
giving our first thoughts on the finale. We both gave our perspectives. Were you surprised? Did you expect them to get engaged?
I was not surprised. I thought Chock was like the guy from day one. I mean, he was super intense, but the finale was so snoozy. I know you were there in the audience. I would love to hear your take on it. But
Yeah. I'll tell you
oh,
all about it. I will say the one time I go to the audience, which honestly I'm really grateful I got to go. It was like maybe the less stakes. Like if I was at Jen's finale, probably would be like, whoa. Like I did feel like being there, that it wasn't the most iconic finale of Bachelor all time. If that makes sense.
absolutely not. Did you get any star treatment? I'm dying to hear all the tea.
Okay. I mean, the star treatment is I got to go on stage before the show and like take pictures.
Not
hot
everybody
seat.
gets to do that, Zachary.
Yeah, I had a VIP ticket. I was sitting with like Robert Mills's vice president's wife. Okay. So they did take my phone away, but there was an audience coordinator, Katie, and she took pictures of me, videos. Like she was really busy, but she
Kate's
was
amazing.
yeah. And then the girls I was sitting with took some pictures of me. So like I didn't need my phone, so I was fine without it. But it was just like really fun and cool to see live. Like I said, it wasn't as dramatic as other finales, but I had a great seat. I was like 15, 20 feet away from the live on stage. So I got to just see everything. Maybe I was able to hear a little bit less because I feel like they have their microphones on. So it's for the TV. So there was some things I missed. But I mean, I got to watch the show like with everybody, which was really cool.
Oh, I was
That's
so
awesome.
excited to see you there. Oh my goodness.
Thank
Well,
you.
I just thought it, like you said, it was a little bit snoozy. I'm sure the ratings were horrible. Look at that. It's so
Yeah.
cute. And you got to take a picture with Jesse.
Yes. Yeah, the ratings weren't the best, you think? Like nobody cares online?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's okay.
I mean, I don't want to poo-poo on it. I just think, I'm glad she let Guy go and didn't put him through the whole meeting the family and picking out the ring. Did I miss something? Did they do the Neil Lane picking out the ring thing?
So they didn't air it because
I
I
felt
think
like that was such a ripoff. That's like my favorite part.
I
That's your
know.
favorite part? Really?
I love like seeing the rings. And there's always one because they ask the leads, like, what do you want? And so
Yeah.
he's kind of like directing people like, I don't know. This one looks like Joan. But yeah, I love seeing that. I feel like Neil Lane looked a little pissed off in the audience.
No, he was fine. I got to talk to him after, and he was like really excited and like happy, and so he was fine. I mean, he got like his promo, and like he was there. I mean, he's been doing it forever, so they know. But I was really shocked that they actually got engaged because Joan was teasing all season that she didn't want to do this engagement, and because there was no reason to rush. So Wyatt, what are your thoughts about them actually proposing? And talk to us about the move to New York City.
I'm not
So
You go ahead.
yeah, I would love to hear what you think, Wyatt, because I'm like, are those keys? Does he already have a place? Is he buying a place? Is he renting a place? Like, I need more details. It's so expensive to move to New York City, but what do you think, Wyatt?
I think they're being a little ambitious. I think they have this idea and they're like, let's move to New York. We're going to do this great thing. It's going to be so cool. We want to live in the big city. And I think they've just been dying to tell people that because they've been like sequestered for so long. And now they're like, all right, we got to unveil these new plans that we have. I don't think they have any concrete plans yet. I'm sure there's a lot to figure out because now they just have to navigate public life, which is a step by itself. So I'm guessing down the road they'll start making plans that way. But I feel like they're just like one day at a time at this point because I'm sure the next week of their lives is going to be absurd. In terms of them just getting engaged, I'm not shocked. I feel like that's just with the Golden franchise. Yes, there's probably an added pressure just based off age to end this thing in an engagement because we're not going to go out and see a 2-year dating cycle and then get engaged. I feel like if you know at that point. So I'm not shocked they got engaged, but we'll see what happens with them.
She was prepping us that she wasn't going to get engaged, and in her press all season. Basically the plan is that they're gonna like find a place together in New York, an apartment. They want to pick out the furniture and do everything from scratch, and that will be like their crash pad. And then they'll be going back and forth between Maryland, Kansas, and New York, like constantly. So they're not going to stay in one place. That's how they plan on making this work and taking their time. But they're also going to Disney like right now with like both of their families. So they're going to probably be busy, the rest of the year with holidays. And I'm sure that they'll spend it together. And we'll see when they get the apartment in New York, like if it ever actually happens.
I get a minimum a year. It's going to take at least a year for them to even get a place in New York. That's my guess.
I think it could happen
I don't think they're moving that fast.
Okay. Courtney, what do you think?
Well, can we just flash back to the beginning of the season? And she was like, I'm not moving. Like that was like her whole thing. It's like, I want to be. So what changed? Was it the keys? Remember? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not going to move for anybody.
She said she wanted to do like 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. So that's why this New York thing is just kind of shocking. And maybe came out last minute because we didn't hear them talk about it until Chock brought this key with the heart last night. And I was like, you don't have an apartment. Like maybe like, where's the key to?
Well, she bought it hook, line, and sinker. And she's like, I better run over to a guy's bungalow. And, I think that sealed the deal for her. Although I do think Chock was the front runner the whole time. She didn't seem that interested in Guy. I don't know.
But was that the change factor? Is that everything went so good with Chock, he presented the key. So it was like, why complicate things? Or do you think she already had her mind made up?
I think she was wounded, truthfully, from Pascal. I think that she was really digging him, and she could have spent time. And she was like digging time, and like she liked Chicago. He was fun, and I think that wounded her. And I think that Chock was just the first one to tell her what she really needed to hear. And don't get me wrong, I think that they really are in love, but I think they showed her breaking down. Very heavy on the X talk, the John talk. I loved her friend that was there. I can't think of her name. Zachary.
Nancy.
I'm like, she could have been the Bachelorette. I love Joan. She's very classy, but it was just very heavy. Always talking about John. And I just needed a little bit more pizzazz.
I have a bold take. I think Pascal could have won if he stuck around.
I don't know.
She loved the energy there. I think there was something fun about his lifestyle that I'm sure at that age is very exciting, and it would just be fun to go on that ride. So I think I wouldn't put money on it, but he definitely would. Guy would have gone home if Pascal stayed. Guy was gone. So I think that made the finale kind of the snooze fest because she was already going to send Guy home. If Pascal stayed, Guy would have gone home last week. It would have been Pascal. and Chock in the final 2.
And
Wyatt,
then
ding,
who
ding,
knows
ding.
what would've
I
happened.
totally agree. I think so
Mm.
too. And now I'm like, I'd love to hear who you guys think is going to be the next. I mean, is it Guy,
Golden
the Golden
Bachelor. Well, that's
Guy,
the thing. So
Charles?
like Pascal said that if he was the Golden Bachelor, he would want younger women, like much younger. He doesn't date women in his 70s, right?
Who would sign up? Like women in their 40s? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Last night, a lot of the Golden Bachelor in Paradise potential people were there, right? Like, I think they should go right into Golden Bachelor in Paradise after Grant's season or after the Bachelorette next year, instead of doing another lead, because they have all these people who probably already know each other by now, since a lot of them were there last night, and like maybe they're gonna set something up before, like a little pre-dating before the show.
Like one golden season a year. I think that's what you got to do. So do Paradise or some version of like a cruise ship, put them all together. It doesn't even have to be, we threw this idea out on our show yesterday. It doesn't have to be even like dating or love related. Just put all these people on like a boat, on something, and make it just actual reality television where just, I would watch them. I would watch Jack and Pascal and Charles L just hang out. Like, I don't care if they fall in love at this point. I just want to see them hang out all the time.
A booze cruise.
Yeah. Incredible.
For sure. Wait, I want to get back to Guy for a second. Courtney, what did you think of them like after the final rose?
You know, the thing that I have a hard time with, I just want to say before I forget, is that she tells everybody she lets go that I love you and I want to have you in my life, blah, blah, blah. Who does that? I mean, technically he is an ex. And she did that a lot when she was eliminating people. And I'm like, you're engaged now. Like, in what world is a contestant like friends with, I don't know, the lead? Have you ever seen that? I haven't.
Maybe in the
I think it's
golden
odd.
ages, it's different.
Well, yeah. And also, if you think of like Joey and Charity and Dotton and Joey and Kelsey, they'll hang out, which is weird when you think of it in the terms of like Joey almost proposed to Charity. So it's weird when you take it like in the context of the show, but I feel like once they're far enough removed from it, they're like, all right, that was kind of weird, but we're both happy now. I don't know. It's just a pressure cooker of a situation.
That's so true. I didn't even think about the recent years, and you're right. But her saying that I thought was interesting. I thought that they would have given him more of a push for the Golden Bachelor, but that's so far down the road. And you know, like Jesse's like, we wish you well, but you know, he seemed really wounded. I mean, he clearly had been crying when she let him go. He had the red eyes, and I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be the next Golden Bachelor. That's for sure.
Of course, it was
I didn't
raining.
get that. Oh,
like, of course, it was drenching rain while that breakup was happening. And I also thought it was weird how Chock got 2 dates in a row. Like, don't they usually do meet the family, then meet the family? Like, I wonder why that was the way it was, because I almost feel like it set up Chock to be even more of like the winner, because she didn't even give Guy like the full chance. Like, I wonder what her kids would have thought about Guy and if they would have been torn and how they would have like reacted to meeting both of them.
True. Well, you're supposed to have a date before, and then you go meet the family. And then, yeah, it goes to the next one. Did they have a date before? Like I said, I was a little choppy. I thought they just kind of talked, and she's like, okay, come on in.
Yeah, that's it. It wasn't really, there's something that wasn't shown, but I feel like
the date was after.
She wasn't torn. Like, she didn't give him the full chance either.
I know. Maybe she was just tired. She just seemed a little worn out towards the end, which it's like a marathon, you know, it's definitely not a sprint, and they are older. Filming days are long. So, but we'll see what happens with Guy. You know, he also had that restraining order thing that came out with the ex-wife that has since been dropped. So, you know, I was kind of surprised that, I wonder if Joan caught wind of that at all during the end of filming.
So many restraining orders. Like,
what's happening with casting?
I didn't know restraining orders, to be truthful. I didn't know like that was like a common practice. I didn't realize there were that many restraining orders just in existence out there. The fact that I know of like 4 from this franchise alone is ridiculous.
There's just been there's one every season now on The Bachelor. There's been one every season for the past like 5 years.
There was 2 on Jones. Gil, who totally got cut out. He wasn't at the men tell all. We had Guy, which he's kind of smoothed that over. and then Devin, obviously, who's off the rails on Instagram.
I can't believe how he was like responding to so many comments. Like he was like looking for a
Wyatt,
fight.
what did you think? Have you seen all that?
Oh yeah, I've seen it all. It's interesting because I've been a very big fan of Jen, defending her across the board. While her season was airing, I was like messaging with Devin because he was like
Oh my
great,
God.
and then
You were?
we made
What?
merch, keep the main thing merch that like he bought.
right.
So we sent that to him. I was talking with Devin, and then the finale happened, and I'm like, oh, take it all back. Maybe I don't know. It's so
Have you heard
are
from
you
him?
still talking to him?
I have not talked to him since because again, Team Jen always. I'll defend Jen till I die. I do admittedly still follow him on Instagram because it's my job. It's content. It's fun. It's fun to.
I
keep
got
up
yelled
with.
at for following him. I had a bunch of people like, why are you still following Devin?
I'll
I
say
kind of
that's
want to get him on the podcast. I kind of want to,
I-
having been a villain, I want to be
Mhm.
like, let me help you. Help me help you. But
Yeah.
after seeing all this stuff, I'm like, was it just a boozy night on his couch, had a bad day, and he's just firing? I mean, at this point, it'd be better if he came out and said, somebody stole my phone. I've been
Yeah.
hacked.
I was hacked.
No, I think he's mad. I think he's mad that like he
Clearly.
got like, you know, in maybe his mind, the raw end of the deal. He didn't get to tell his story. I mean, he was supposed to do Nick Vile's podcast. That would have been like his opportunity to like share his own, but he declined it. So maybe he'll do one day. No one has been this hated since Tino. And Tino did an interview like maybe 3 months later. So maybe we'll hear from him again.
You know, it was
But I
on
feel
my
like-
podcast. He actually reached out to me and said, give Devin, if you have his number, give him my number. I'd love to show some support. But he's also not on social media. So Tino's like, he doesn't know what's going on.
Mm.
I was like, I don't have Devin's number.
Yeah. Do you think Jen and Sasha are dating, Wyatt?
It's so we said this on our show last night. Like hard launching has gone off the rails now, where you can't even tell what a hard launch is. So I have a new rule of thumb: if there's no tongue, it's not a hard launch. I need to see them making out. That's a hard launch for me.
I
Like,
think
that's
it's a hard launch enough that he just posted that cute selfie, and it's also the fact that she is at his house all the time and like helping him cook. Like you don't just cook for someone that you don't love.
Do you think she just needed a free place to stay? You know how it is in LA.
She
She
gets
stayed
the apartment
with
from
him.
the show.
She stay at Jonathan's. She can choose one of the ex-boyfriends.
I don't think
love her.
she's done with Jonathan. She's done with Jonathan.
But
They're
even
just
then,
done.
people
Like,
thought they were
yeah.
dating. So
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's where it gets me like tricky because I feel like she did this whole thing with Jonathan. So now just tell us, like, are you, like, don't build it up. Clearly they're dating, but even in interviews, she's like, I don't know. Do you want to tell him? Like, it's just, but I guess you're right though, Wyatt. You make a good point. Like, unless there's tongue. I mean,
Yeah.
why are they building it up though? Like, what's the end goal?
I think
Social
you only
media.
build it up if you're not actually dating. Because if you're actually dating and confirmed dating, there's no point to like build anything. It's like, hey, we're just dating.
But I think they're definitely like having fun and like
Oh, yeah.
dating without like a
They're probably
title.
having SCX.
Probably. But I think that like it's part of the lore about being a reality star and a social media influencer. It's like when it's hot and people are paying attention, like lean into it, like get some engagement. I mean, that's how people have built successful online careers. And like, why not take advantage of like the opportunity while it's hot right now? Because as soon as these shows are over and it's the holidays, there's going to be a bunch of new people next year, January, with new shows. And, they're going to be old news if they don't do things to stay relevant and stay, on the trends on social media.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're right. But she's just coming off of like the show, Devin, Dancing with the Stars. She hasn't given her as a friend. If I was her friend, I'd be like, whoa, go a little bit slower here. You were seen with Jonathan, like just, one branch to the next. I don't know. It might be a little too soon.
I like her living her life because I really don't think
Yeah.
that her and Jonathan actually like got together. I think that they were just making content and she was leaning on Jonathan after the Devin breakup. And then I think she was thrown into Dancing with the Stars so soon and was leaning on Sasha and they built a really good bond. So, I mean, I think it's been fun to watch her journey all year. I'm excited to see what's next for her. I feel like she really was our Bachelorette of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, she was sparkling on Dancing with the Stars. And,
Mhm.
it's funny. I don't know if you heard, Zachary, about Leslie Fema. She went on a podcast and said that she
Mhm.
was in talks to do it.
I
And then
did.
Jen got it. So that's got to sting a little bit.
Leslie's
was-
a dancer too. She's got a background in dancing. She probably would have won that thing.
But she
I
could go
know.
on Golden Bachelor in Paradise. Like they needed to put Jen on there after what she just went through.
Well,
But
she's been seen with Jonathan or with what's his name? The other
Jordan.
guy. Jordan.
Jordan,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I listened to the podcast that she was on, and she basically said that her and Jordan were just like texting a little bit, and that he invited her to a soccer game, and that the ball is in his court.
Playing
So,
games.
And
it's up to
Jonathan has
him.
a new bag, and Kelsey's dad is already booed
Yeah.
up. It just goes to show you that these
Yeah.
guys are really good. I wonder how that went down if girls like slid into their DMs. This is wild.
DMs have to be weird too, because from what I've heard from talking to people, is it's mostly their kids running their Instagrams.
Mm.
So imagine going through like your dad's Instagram DMs and just seeing all these women. That's too much. That would be way too much for me. Like,
Mhm.
are they setting their dad up through the DMs?
I mean, they might be, because I can't imagine some of these guys knowing how to use TikTok.
I don't
Like
know.
for sure. But Wyatt, I know you had Taylor on, Chock's daughter.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about your interview with her.
Taylor's awesome. I give her a bunch of credit because I think she, for lack of a better word, just didn't give a crap. She's like, I'll just go on the show, whatever. Like, I don't care about the big bad of the ABC production, all that stuff. She's like, I'll just do it. She's awesome, super cool, very funny. She's the reason Chalky was even on the show. She applied him. She signed up. She pretended to be him for like multiple steps of the process. She said on our show that when Chock finally went in for interviews or something, they approached him and said, hey, like, you're not as funny as you were on your like application. And Taylor's like, well, sorry, I'm funnier than you, Dad. So yeah, she was great. I think she obviously she didn't tell us anything. I didn't want to know because we had her on 3 weeks ago, like for hometowns, because that was her
Mhm.
reacting to herself. And she is self-aware enough to realize how her dad is coming across too. So even she said, like, hey, there was an episode or two there where like, Dad, you look like the villain right now. Like, and she had a good point where her dad has never been in an open relationship. Like, who has in that sense? So he's navigating it too. But yeah, I think they're very self-aware and understand, and they're not taking it too seriously into the sense of like building into the online, because online hate towards Chock is crazy. The older
He's
generation,
getting any? I'm
they
shocked.
hate. Maybe it's just my comment section. They hate Chock for some reason. I can't figure out why, but they're just so anti-Chock. And I think a lot of the people commenting are of that older generation where maybe they don't understand the internet is there for everybody to see. So they're just speaking their mind. But yeah, Chock's catching a lot of heat online, which I don't think it's fair at all, but that's show business.
It's show
Because he's like a
business.
little intense, or he comes across as like
Yeah,
what,
like there's a
confident?
lot like hogging Joan, basically. Like all too much. It's
People
like,
can't get over the bowling date.
yes, the bowling date.
But
Oh, what?
yeah, it's just so interesting to hear the kids' perspectives on their
Mhm.
parents. Like I met Taylor last night, and I was more excited to say hi to her than to Chock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I have more in common with her. Like
Yeah.
I would rather meet all of the kids than like them. Like I think it's so interesting that they all sign their parents up, because
Mhm.
it's like they're the ones that watch the show. Like their parents don't really know exactly what's all going on.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
the kids are awesome. Like every interaction I've had with the kid, it has to be like, it's so hard for them to go through this, to watch your dad make out on national
Mhm.
television. That's a nightmare situation. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. So I tip my
Oh.
cap to them.
Did you
For
notice
sure.
when Chock and Joan kissed, her son was the face that her son made was like
Yeah.
What a power
it's
move by him.
amazing.
Walking into a room, meeting this woman's family and saying, oh, by the way, I'm just going to kiss your mom real quick, right in front of you. That's a
The
power
son's
move.
face was priceless. I wish I'd have taken a picture of it. He's like just kind of
Yeah.
grossed out.
I felt like Joan's son was like really protective of her, and like was really trying to be like, no one will ever replace my dad. The expectations are so high. And I'm just like, that's not what he's here to do. Like, calm down. But
And he said that right away. Chock's like,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm here
I,
for. He like, I
I'm
felt
not your
like watching.
dad.
He had like all the right answers. Like maybe that's what people pick up on, but
Mhm.
it seems genuine to me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the biggest question is, how long do we give Chock and Joan? Do we actually think they're going to last? Or is it too soon to tell? What are your final predictions?
Courtney, you're first. Ladies first.
You know what? I haven't even processed it really.
It's too
Truth be
soon.
told, I would give it a year. I would say 11 months. That's how long Ben and I lasted. That's long enough to try it. But let's see how they travel together. Let's see what kind of apartment he can afford in New York. Are we talking a bachelor, a studio apartment? You know,
It's got to be a 2-bedroom.
hopefully he didn't oversell and doesn't underdeliver. But I would say 11 months.
I'm giving them forever. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love.
Oh,
What can I say? I want them to get married and ride off in the sunset together. I still don't think New York's going to happen. That's where I'm going to give my hot take. I feel like that's not going to work. I think they'll figure something else out, but sorry, I'm rooting for them forever. I love love. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, they have to last longer than Gary and Teresa. I mean, they lasted.
Yeah, this podcast has lasted longer than Gary and
my
Teresa.
hot coffee's lasting longer than them. Jeez,
Are we gonna get a golden wedding part 2, the sequel?
I would
totally
love
forgot that happened.
I would love another golden wedding, and but you have to give them like a year. Like Teresa was saying on her podcast that they were offered the golden wedding now or never, so they were almost like rushed into doing it.
Yeah.
Also, where's the divorce? Like, did they sign a prenup? Like, are the assets? Is the divorce finalized yet?
There was a prenup. I heard it is finalized.
Oh, golden divorce. That should have been. I would have watched that episode.
That could have
I
been a
want to see
spin-off.
Kelsey and Joey get married. I want to see a young,
Mhm.
another. It's been a while since we've had a young publicized wedding. Who was the last one? We had, who was it? I can't even
Jade and
remember.
Tanner. It was Jade and Tanner was the last like wedding they did on TV.
That was ages ago.
Yeah, well, most people don't, do their bachelor wedding on TV. Most people don't get offered a TV special.
That's so true. But I feel like also Charity and Dotton. Who else? I
Mhm.
mean, I feel like Zach
Zach and
Shell Cross,
Katie.
he's kind of just faded into the bushes.
Yeah,
So
they
it's like,
forgot about them. They
can you
just
offer it to one and not the other successful couples?
Or just do it all at once.
Yes,
they
you
just
know?
keep
couple
giving
bucks.
Charity and Dotton free trips every finale. I was shocked they didn't bring them out and just give them another trip. Just keep
Mhm.
offering.
You're
them.
going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
You're going.
Exactly. Courtney, who have you had on your podcast recently? And tell everybody about your show.
Oh, hi guys. I host After Reality and I have had, gosh, I got to think about it. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I actually have
What have you been
somebody
talking about?
We've been talking about The Bachelor and how
Mhm.
Golden Bachelorette and how snoozy it is, kind of recapping a little bit. Also, I've had Brad Smith on, the first Canadian Bachelor, and we actually dove deep into like the pitfalls of coming off a reality TV show and how hard it is to navigate the media and how long it takes a reality TV star to get over the kind of the public's perception of who they saw on TV. And we both, little spoiler alert, we both said it, like for me, it took 10 years and he just got over it about 6 months ago and he was on 12 years ago. So, and then I have somebody who's off contract at the end of the month coming on that I'm very excited about. So I can't say who, and a couple other irons in the pan.
Okay, slay. Wyatt, what are you going to be covering now that the show's over? Are you going to be watching? Are you covering Dancing with the Stars?
I am not. My co-host Michael is probably going to do some TikToks about it. He's been following the season way closer than I have. To be quite frank, I am excited for a little bit of off season for the next 6 weeks until I start doing prep for Grant season. I have a few different shows that I've been working on that's outside the Bachelor world, which has been fun. I like keeping it fresh for me because if I just did this 100% all the time, I would be like way too deep. So I'm working on a few other things, but we'll get a few interviews here in the next couple of weeks. We have an award show that we're going to film next week where we give out awards for the whole Bachelor year. So we'll give out
cringe award show,
cringe of the year, dad of the year, stuff like that. Just some fun awards. But yeah, no, we'll keep. I really like how our show's kind of grown this year. It's only a year old, so we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, the biggest thing for us is we want to keep kind of the younger demographic engaged into the show. And I love doing crossovers of like sports world and the Bachelor world, where those two audiences are so drastically different, where it's fun to try to like, I always do videos where I'm like, here's explaining the Bachelor for your boyfriend. So you can watch with your girlfriend. Cause like our demographic is mostly females. So it's like, let's get the dude who only watches football on Sunday to watch with his girlfriend on Monday nights. So that's always fun to do, a couple crossovers, compare Bachelor contestants to athletes, stuff like that. So, well, I'm sure we'll find ways to fill the off season here, but Grant season's going to be here way sooner than we think.
Yeah. And I want to talk about Grant's season. We haven't gotten there yet. So his season will air January 27th, which is a little bit later than usual. It used to be like the first Monday of every year. But we did see the trailer last night. It looked like there was going to be a lot of drama. And what was really teased was the ending of the teaser when Jesse was asking Grant, I need to know who to send out first. And Grant couldn't decide between, like, I guess, two girls who he was going to choose that close up until the finale. Courtney, what are your thoughts on that?
It seemed legit to me. You know, they've been doing these spoilers like Joey and him walking away, but this one seemed really real because, and to be down to the wire like that and to not know 100%, that's shocking. Because typically, I mean, I knew I was going second because one of the PAs I heard said Lindsay's on our way, and I was like, yes, let's go. But yeah, I think that's wild. Unless it's like he had to poop or I don't know, like, you know, what else could it be? It seems legit.
How could he not know by that point? He's gonna get messy. I feel like he might have like told like 4 girls he's in love with them.
He's a lover. Just from that teaser, you can tell he's an emotional person, which is awesome. Like, it's great. Very in tune with his emotions. I think that's gonna get him in trouble.
I already am predicting a lot of drama. I love The Bachelor because I love the girls. Like, it's my favorite part of it. I liked how Grant was singing, and I think that's really cool that he is like an emotional guy that can write notes and stuff.
I think the claws are going to come out, though. This is one of the most attractive bachelors I think they've ever had, truthfully. And I think the women, not that it's about that, but he's charming. You can tell from the teaser that their claws are coming out, and the women are stunning.
I always forget, in watching the Golden season, like, you forget how young this group, like, the season can be, because just watching like Chock and Joan and their like engagement, and then it cuts to these girls just fighting in the trailer. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how fun that is, because it's a younger group. Like, I don't know if they actually are younger than they have been in the past, but I don't know if I just got that vibe from the teaser. I was like, wait a second, these feel like I'm 25. They're probably all older than me, but I'm like, these feel like young, like drama. Claws are coming out, like you said.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zachary? What did you think about that little?
I loved it. Oh my God. Oh, you mean like the ending with the two people? I feel like he's gonna, that's like gives an opportunity to be another switcheroo, like another Ari, or he like changes his mind like a month later or a week later with Peter. And
Jason
I kind of love, I kind of love the show when there's that added drama where there's like, they have to pick the cameras back up and film it in the happy couple weekends. Like when Chock was like, we had 5 happy couple weekends and they were all perfect and we were playing, Scrabble. And I was like, okay, because like this show has had like scandalous like happy couple tea that has come out of those weekends, right?
Tino and Rachel
locked in a house, or like things will get spoiled in happy couples weekends. So I love when the show like has that added drama at the end of it that really gets everyone on the internet involved. So I think that from what we saw on Grant's teaser, I feel like we can expect to have a good ending, that it will be worth the wait, which will be the drama and the scandal that I look forward to at the end of every season.
We always look forward to the shaky cam. Every time you can tell a producer's picking up a camera and it's moving, that's when you know it's good. When you know there's a little shaky cam, all right, now that's when I perk up in my seat a little bit. I'm like, all right, strap in. This is going to be good.
Yeah, because this season didn't have any drama. None of the guys fought once.
Yeah. The only shaky cam moment was Pascal when he's like, get away for a second.
That was interesting. But that didn't even... That was different than I guess I thought. I didn't realize he was breaking up with her until I watched the episode.
Yeah.
So maybe she was scarred from that.
Who knows? I mean, I kind of hope he's the Bachelor, the Golden Bachelor, though. I think better than Charles. I do like Charles, though.
I love Charles so much. It depends on how ratings went, because I feel if ratings were really bad, they might try to either get like a B-list celebrity or go a random route or something else, something to kind of add some more energy to it just based off ratings.
For sure. Any final thoughts on the season? It's over. So happy ending.
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the be all end all for me, but sorry, I don't want to be a negative Nancy.
We're happy for Chock and Joan.
Yes. Congratulations to them. And I hope her heart is healed.
I think the cast was great. I think you had a good group of golden geezers, as I like to call them, and I think there's enough there. This is a good like establishing season where now there's a cast of characters that we would recognize if they want to do some kind of Paradise spin-off thing. So I think this is a necessary season. It's probably not the highest rated or anything, but I think
It
it's
was
a necessary.
necessary, yeah. We need a Golden in Paradise next. I
Yes.
think that's definitely, we have enough characters. You can't pick one of these guys. Even when like Joan was picked, I thought she was the right pick, but it was also like I want to see all the women try and date. So I think they should go right into Golden Paradise. And who
And,
knows if they'll even do it again.
Susan, was it Susan
Susan.
and the guy that was in the audience with him? Did you see any tea of
Jack.
that? Jack
They
and
were, yeah, I guess they were just sitting together. You probably saw more than I did on the TV because
Yeah.
I didn't see them from where I was sitting.
Well, I mean, those are like a perfect pairing. I don't know if you
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I was like, yes, get them straight down to Paradise. Or like, I feel like some of these people are going to start cross-pollinating, I hope.
Mhm.
Well, that's what I was saying is like they were all there last night sitting together. So I'm like, conversations are probably already happening. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were flirting or, who knows what people do at that age.
They should send Pascal onto regular Paradise. So you have the regular since he wants to date younger, put him on regular, send him down to the beach, see what happens.
That's an amazing, amazing way to end this. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Go follow Wyatt and Courtney on their Instagrams. Go subscribe to their podcasts and subscribe to this podcast. Give it a thumbs up and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Adios.
See you guys.